Tonight we're going to be working on the old windows. So the top windows absolutely gone. Right. So corroded away, which is really unusual because the bottom windows are all fine, apart from a couple of fixings. So I've managed to get a couple of old windows off Facebook, one of the Caravan pages. I'll be cutting that up, making some new windows out of it. I'll show you the little fittings that help hold all these things together. Talk about fixing windows. So I've chopped up the old windows, made some new parts for these little windows that need replacing. Quite often on caravans what you'll see is the top section of the window has sort of fallen down, or a gap is there. The reason for that is there's these little wee L brackets and behind those, and either the screws right out or they're snapped or they're bent or something like that. So generally what you need to do is unscrew them. Sometimes they can be a bit of a mission to get out if the screws are rusty, but you need to unscrew them and replace that little L bracket. There's a few places around that sell them. I prefer to make mine myself, just out of a bit of angle aluminium. The old windows, sometimes it could be a bit of a mare getting them apart, especially when they've got a bit of oxidization or corrosion down in the channel. So I finally got this one off with some persuasion and a bunch of CRC. I'll show you a nice easy trick to clean up the inside of that channel and get it to a nice size. Starters, put a bit of threaded rod into your drill. 8mm threaded rod will clean out those channels. And then secondly, you can get a bit of sandpaper, wrap around your pencil, and then finish it up for that last little bit. It will make it beautiful and smooth for future use. Trick, these little brackets in the corner of your windows, these sometimes fail. These are steel, they just rust out, and they've got two little screws in the back of them. So these are well and truly stuck. Pretty simple, just drill them out, be done with it, and then replace the bracket, replace the screws. very fortunate. Some friends of mine own commercial sprayers. They've allowed me to come in and use their booth and oven after hours. So we're going to go in, powder coat the windows for the Caravan, and I'll show you a little bit about the process. But these guys are great. They've done wheels for me, rims, other window frames, and they come out absolutely immaculate. Yeah, let's get it done. Windows are back from the powder coaters. Super happy with the result. They look fantastic. Nice clear coat on them. They'll keep them well protected. So now it's time to start putting them all back together. So I've got myself a bag full of M3x6 screws, tiny wee Phillips screws. I've started making or cutting some little aluminium brackets. I'll fit those to each of the windows, and I've got the new rubber seals. So I'll show you how they're all fitted in. Reasonably simple to do. All you need is a sharp Stanley knife and a bottle of spray with a tiny bit of dishwash in it, just to help the seal slide in. Well, plan 1 was a fail, so we'll turn to plan 2. Normally you can push the little tongue down the slot, and with a bit of brute strength you can pull it along, but today this isn't working. So what I'm going to do instead is, I've got a special tool I made up. It's just ground up out of a putty knife. I'm going to use that to flick the seal inside the groove and just work my way around. Give it another go. Little hint, windows are all together now, but what I found is that a couple of them are a bit tight, a bit kind of creaky. You want them to open and close really easy. It puts a lot less strain on the little L bracket. So what I'm going to do is go along this edge, the hinge edge, just with a big flat chisel, and gently tap it open to free open the window. Nice easy way to make sure your windows are functioning like they should. That's it. Tight creaky windows done, running like it should. Time to put all the window stays back together. I've got all my large flange rivets, which look really good. I'll spread the load as well. Nylon washers to help everything slide without it corroding and squeaking. And the other thing I've got is a little made up peening tool. It's just got a dome in the end of it. And that's for, once you've riveted it, you can dome the rivet over. It keeps things a little bit tighter, and it makes it look really nice and tidy. So, a lot of riveting, a lot of peening. Right, 73 years young, and it's like probably better than new. I often see people cracking their side windows or their opening windows. Generally it's due to these, right? One side jams and then they twist the window and they break the glass. So if that's happening, generally these will need to be pulled apart, cleaned up, put back together, and make sure they're sliding nicely. Time to put in our little nameplate window. I see a lot of people asking how to change the rubbers on these. This is a type of rubber that's typically used, right? The bottom one for the aluminium, the top one for the glass. This comes in a few different widths depending on the thickness of your glass. Myself personally, I'm using acrylic. It's not for everybody. There's definitely some pluses and minuses. So the pluses are that it's half the weight of glass. It's a lot more flexible, so you don't tend to break it, especially opening windows and things like that. It's thermally a lot better than glass. So insulation wise, you're much better off with acrylic. But it does scratch easier. So if you like to brush your Caravan down with a broom or something like that to clean it, acrylic's probably not the material for you. Stick with glass. So basically, once we put the rubber strip in, we'll cut it to size, and then we'll put the infill strip in. Here's our little infill strip that comes in a couple of different sizes. You do need a infill tool for that, otherwise it's an absolute nightmare. So with this tool, it's pretty good, but it's always it's more difficult than what it looks. It takes a bit of practice to get this right. So I've broken a couple of windows on other Caravans getting the stuff in, but I've never broken an acrylic one. So that's why, part of the reason why I prefer it. All right, let's put it in. A quick thing worth noting, these rubbers do shrink over time, so you're better off to have this really tight and basically almost forced into place, and then you could put a little bit of sealer between the joint, rather than having it just sort of hanging there. The gap will shrink, guaranteed, and this will save any hassle for the future. Time to insert the infill strip. It's a reasonably easy process as long as you have the infill strip tool. If you don't have one of these, it's a bit of a mare, and also some soapy water. So quick spray. I'll show you the start of the process. Slide that into the insert tool. Work your way into the seal. And then start to insert it. And then just slowly work your way around until you're done. So here we have it, the final result. Thank you very much, Andrew and Sharon from Commercial Sprayers. Super happy with the end result. I listened to their advice and went with the matte clear. It's come up just looking perfect for this restoration. So you need some stuff done, use these guys, they're great.